Hi, I'm Dan Franklin. In this video, we're going to look at playing Password or Taboo. All you really need for this game is cards, which you can have the kids make themselves, that have the words on them. You can also just have the kids come up to dry erase boards and you can write the words on dry erase boards. There's all kinds of variations. What they really need is a word. So let's talk about solo. Okay, I've got a class of 25 and we're in a place where we need to learn the words and we're not ready to play a game yet. So solo, and this really sets you up to later play Password kind of as a study guide. It really teaches kids how to use flashcards basically. So to do this solo is they have their card and they have the word on it, is on the back side is write short sentences describing that word using the math terms. So for slope, I might write, they're going to start with rise over run, basic definition that maybe they've been taught. They might write in. They might write, this is the, hopefully you can even get them to actually write and work on their literacy skills as well, as this is a rate of change. It can be positive. It can be negative. If it is vertical, no solution. So you get them to regurgitate all the things that hopefully you want them to learn, or they have learned, or maybe this is how you have them break apart their vocabulary depending on how you have them look up the words. But now they've got this. And so now you can introduce them to the game Password. And there's two ways to do this, where the person giving the clues draws the card and can read the word, and then they can read their clues directly off the back. So they're not necessarily, eventually you want to get it to where they just read the word and they just start giving clues. They're not having to do a lot of reading. But at the beginning they're probably going to need to, because these are words that aren't familiar to your students either. So you would have them read, well, this is rise over run. Well, with that clue, the other students probably go, oh, slope. Okay, so that's where taboo comes in. Because I can forbid them from saying some of those words, and now they have to say, well, this is a rate of change. And you can start, velocity is an example of this, because it's distance divided by time. You get them to start speaking about the words in other ways, and it helps them build a better understanding of what that might be. I went down the slope, or I went skiing and I went down. Okay, so even though that may not quite be the math jargon we want, but that is still getting them closer to better understanding and deeper understanding of that word. So with Taboo, it might require, and this might be later on, now that they've got the rise over run, because we definitely want them to understand that, and maybe they're using some of the equation kind of words, take those words away from them and see what they can say. You might even take the exact words rate of change and see if they can say rate of change in a different way. This is speeding up, this is slowing down, and I can graph it. Okay, so they're still talking with the terminology. So here's how the game works though. So game-wise, I've got a stack of cards, the other person's got a stack of cards, maybe even the same cards, and I draw one and I start giving clues. If they guess it right, we put a card in a stack that's correct. And at the beginning you want to do this until everybody gets them right. And then whoever has the most in their stack of they got correct, they're going to win. This really works if you have a time limit. I like to do this in groups of 3 because then you can have a third person who's either the timer or the referee to see, oh, you had 30 seconds, time is up, you didn't get enough. And that's how I would probably do it is, okay class, you've got 2 minutes to play your password, ready, go. And you start the timer. And then they see who can get the most in 2 minutes. And you go around and you give your rewards to those and see who finished it. Then you want to up the game, do it again. Okay, well now we're going to do it taboo style. You can't use the first 2 items on your card. And this might even be a great way to give notes, because you give them the notes on their card, so you can say, you are not allowed to use those 2 words. Okay? So that's taboo. So you've got some cards. You may have to find a partner. If you don't have a partner, make your list. What would your list look like? But with a partner, go ahead and play around and see what you think, and let me know. Thanks.